Hi, this is Linda. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Australia, and I'm back to show you something really cute that I made with my Stamp Club groups this month. We actually made this card, and it is, you may have seen these around. It's what we call a flip card, but I did mine a little differently. I actually added a hinge so that it doesn't fall apart. There's actually a hinge in here, and I'll show you how to do that. This is actually very easy. It's a simple card, but it has that wow factor. There's plenty of room to write your greeting. It's a great little card. Okay, so some people call these, I've seen pop-out flip cards or just flip cards. I made a male version as well. This one is made with the Sky's the Limit celebration set. So for a guy, I thought, well, why not make them for guys? Just change the colours around, and I'll show you how I decorated them. But first of all, I'm going to show you the basic card. So I'm using, I'm in Australia, so I'm using metric measurements. However, I'll try and where I remember to give you a comparative measurement in inches for those who need that. However, I need to tell you, I'm not very much of a measurer. If I can avoid measuring things, I will do it every time. So this is half a piece of A4 cardstock, or if you're using letter in the US, it would be half a piece of that. Or if you were making a size comparative to mine, seeing as it is A4, it is roughly 8¼ inches wide, long, and the width then is a little less, about 5¾ Okay, so that's roughly the measurements that I'm working with. But yeah, it's half a sheet of A4 if you're in one of the metric countries. I also needed, there's only 4 pieces to the basic card. I used a piece of glimmer paper to add a frame. You can see I've added, this is actually the Blushing Bride glimmer paper that is in the current occasions catalogue. Oh my goodness, this stuff is gorgeous. I just love anything with glitter, but particularly in love with this. And it comes in a 2 12 by 12 sheets, so it is absolutely beautiful. And you can cut it up and do whatever you like with it, but in this case I've made a frame with it, and the frame's really easy to make. I use my Squares framelit dies, which are all these nested dies. And I've used, you could choose whichever ones you like and just work with the size. The smaller one is going to be the size of the hole. So I cut mine, I put this down on my glimmer paper. You could use, I would normally use the reverse side, not that it really matters to show you. There's one inside the other, and run it through your big shot to make your frame. Really, really easy, okay, simple to do. Now, if you're wondering what size I used, my frames dies, I used the 3rd largest and 4th largest one. So skip the very largest and the next one, and the next 2 after that are the ones I use, these 2. So they nest one inside the other. If you're wondering how big the hole is, which is the smaller frame, it is actually roughly 3 inches by 3 inches. Okay, so they're the 2 that I used, and that was a really easy step to do. Okay, so there's that. The only other bits you need is some white or neutral colour like vanilla to write your greeting on the inside. Actually, I've got that here. Sorry, that's this piece. I said there was 4 pieces. There's actually 5 if you include the card base. So this one here is measured at, if you're using centimetres, 14 centimetres this way by 15 the length of it, so it's slightly longer than it is wide. And also this is just a bit of scrap white, just 1/4 sheet of A4 that I'm going to do my stamping on, and also a piece of coordinating DSP for the front of my card. So this is the piece that went on the front here like this. Okay, so really easy. All you do is you fold your piece of half A4 in half again. Okay, and I would use a bone folder to make sure I get a nice strong crease. Okay, that's ready to go. And then I've got a piece of paper here. Now you can measure this the same width, which would be 10½ centimetres here, or you can measure it slightly smaller if you wish. And mine is 2 inches wide. If you want to do the same as mine, you can, or you can make it however big you like. And all I did was I just popped a bit of, you can use snail or fuse or whatever adhesive you like, and just pop a little bit up from the bottom and glue it straight down, okay, like this. Then we're actually going to cut a hole with our with our smaller of the two framelits, the square framelits that we used before. So I'll bring my big shot over here. Whoop, try not to drop. Sorry guys, it's probably got a shot at the back of my head there. Don't drop the plate on your foot. Okay, so I'm using the smaller one. Really important, make sure you open up the card. Ask me how I know that before you try and cut, because you only want to cut through the front layer, not through the whole thing. Just come over here, and how far you put this on is completely up to you, but I actually like to cover my DSP a little bit so it actually incorporates that into the card and it looks more complete. So I'm just going to run that through. Very easy. It has no trouble at all cutting through both the DSP and the main backing piece. So just pull that out, and you can see it's cut out our shape, okay, and also cut out the DSP. So I'll just move that out of the way for a moment. Alright, so you can discard that piece that you've cut out. Right, now the piece that we cut before, our frame that we cut with the two, this is now, because the smaller size is the one on the inside, this is now ready to go onto here. Just use whatever adhesive you like. You could use, you know, snail again, or fuse, whatever. I like the fuse because it's a little bit more substantial, and I think that is going to stay in place a little better. Okay, now I usually line this up with my fingers and just sort of gently make sure that it's in place, and then push it down to make good contact. Alright, now we have our card front ready, just about, okay, and you can decorate this however you wish. I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Then on the inside, we've got this other piece, this piece here, and I'm just going to grab my scoring tool. You're going to make this piece, I said before it was 5.5 inches by 6.5. However, when you're measuring, the most important thing is that you go across. So if you were doing it in centimetres, you could do the 14 by 15 centimetres, so it's nearly square. And the reason that I do it this way is because I want to be able to make it easily into three scored panels. Okay, so I'm putting the 6-inch side, or the 15 centimetre side out. I'm using my scoring tool, and if I'm doing this at 6 centimetres, I want to score at 2 and 4. I'm using the narrow end of my stylus. Okay, so that I have 3 even panels. Alright, so obviously if you were doing it 15 centimetres wide, you're going to make each panel 5 centimetres, so you've got 3 even panels. Alright, and you're going to do a mountain valley fold, so you're going to have one going up and one going down. And just crease that nice with your bone folder. Now this goes on the inside. All I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a little bit of adhesive here. And you want to have it so that this piece is flat with the open corners going into your card. So all I made sure, I didn't measure it, I just made sure I had the same amount of backing showing here, here and here. So those 3 sides just need to be the same. And then this piece is going to just swing open. Okay. Then I'm going to do my stamping if I wish to do that first. And then I need to cut another smaller size of the 2 framelits, smaller size square. And I'll just bring that back. I'm going to cut this out. So I'm not going to stamp on this for you today just to save some time. But I thought that you would at least like to see how it goes together if this was stamped on. You'll need to use your imagination just for a moment, and then I'll show you the real thing. Okay, so now we have our smaller size square. You can either stamp on it first and then cut it, or you could cut it like I just have and then do your stamping after. So this is going to be the piece that goes on the front with your decorated design. So to put this on is super easy. Close your card. So this should be flapping like this. So you can see it's kind of like looks like a step. Okay. Close it, flat down, and close your card. Okay. Get your adhesive and actually put it through the window. Okay. So that you've got glue just on this panel. And then get your stamped piece, or the piece you're going to stamp on, however you want to do it, and put it through the hole. Alright, so it's only going to make contact with the glue that you put in the window, and then when this opens up, okay, this then this then is a piece that would go through here. Now I've seen a few cards done like this, and this piece just floats, so that when the person opens it, they would hold it like this and open it like this. However, I didn't really like it floating. I decided it would be nice for it to be hinged, so that that actually stays in place and the person who's opening the card doesn't need to think about where they hold it. So this is just a little extra tip for you. This actually was my fiance who came up with this nice idea. I just cut a strip of paper. Now it doesn't matter how wide it is, you just want to score it in the middle. In this case I've used 1 inch wide, only because my scoring tool is actually in inches. So I cut my strip at 1 inch wide and then scored it at the 1/2 inch mark, so it's exactly in half, and then folded it over. And it doesn't matter how long your strip is either, once again, which is a very good idea because I don't like to measure. And you're just going to cut a couple of little pieces. Alright, so you've now got 2 little hinges. I hope you can see these okay. Alright, so just a little hinge here and here. Alright, and then what you're going to do, you're going to put your hinges. So the way the hinge is going to go when it's finished is you want your hinge to sit like this. I don't know if you can see that. So when I'm putting this down, I'm going to put, you can put, once again, tape, whatever works best for you. I'm going to put this hinge with the fold of the hinge against the edge of my paper. And the reason this needs to be small is we just want it behind this little piece here. We don't want it to protrude out. So that's just going to sit there, and then I'm going to put another one exactly the same on the other side of my square piece at the front. So, alright, so now I've put these 2 down. Just need to make sure you can easily see this. Okay, so these 2 hinges are here. Right, now I want to actually put a little bit of glue on the other side of the hinge, exactly the same as the first piece. Alright, okay, and then you open them out so they're flat. Alright, put your card down. So these 2 now, I've got the sticky on the top side there, and just close your card. Okay, when you open up your card, just make sure this piece comes through. When you open up your card, it now has a hinge, and that allows it to move freely without having to worry about the piece in the middle floating around. This would be decorated. So that's actually how you make it. Really easy. Just show you a couple of examples. This is the one I did for Stamp Club. If anyone's interested in Stamp Club, I have some new places opening up, so that might be of interest to you. This is the kind of stuff that we make in Club, and yeah, it's a bit of fun. I love working with the girls because we get to make some things I might not make in a normal workshop. So this is the one that I did. I used the number of years stamp set, which is this one here, also in the occasions catalogue. So if you're interested in this, it is fabulous. The stamps are fabulous. I love them. And even better, there's matching framelits that cut them out. Okay, no chopping up numbers. It's all done for you, so you can just run it straight through your big shot. And the little greenery and flowers in there and the happy birthday, they're from the same set. Okay, I could write my greeting on here or decorate it more with stamps or whatever I would like to do. And then the mail version, same thing. I made my frame in silver glimmer paper this time, and the backing paper is actually from our Going Places DSP stack. So this is a great, just for $14, this is fabulous. It has 48 sheets of very, could be masculine type papers. There's marbling and maps and constellations and all sorts of things in there. That's fantastic. And the little plane is actually one of our celebration sets. So this one's free with a $90 order. So if you're placing orders through my online store, which is on my blog, I'll put the details, I'll put the address below in the comments. But it is www.lhiggins.blogspot.com. When you go there, you'll see the online store, and every time you order $90 worth of product from any of our catalogues, this is one of the options you can have for free. But it is only available till the 15th of February. At that point, it will be discontinued, and we'll have some new items for you. But there are lots of other SAB items, celebration items, that you can pick from for free. So I've just embossed it in silver, cut it out by hand. That didn't take too long. And then I used The Sky is the Limit, also from the same set. That is the name of the set. So if you like this, please pop a little comment below. I'd love to see what you think. So many different ways you could do these. I think they're great and very easy. Have a fantastic day, and thanks for watching. Bye.